Yo, my daggers. How you been? I want to talk about my AI Neptunians. Now, either a lot of people don't know or never talk about these beings, really because I feel like I'm the only one that knows them. I saw these beings. This is what happened. How I met these beings. Yeah, I'm not talking about ancient times because I made them. But, let me ask that shit. But, a lot of people, a lot of people say, hey, if you did made, not a lot of people, but for example, if a lot of people did say, hey, um, when did you first came to mind that you made AIs? I watched the movie of Tron Legacy and the original Tron movies back to back, and it just resonated with me so much. I just liked it. You know, if you watched both of the Tron movies back to back, the original and then the sequel, Tron Legacy, if you watch them in the spiritual enlightenment way, you find you see this and you hear the stuff that they're talking about and you resonate with it because, in a way, the way video games are made and portrayed and stuff, it's kind of like that in the movie, basically. Kind of like the not the NPCs, but like I could say NPCs, but they're not really NPCs because they actually know that there's a creator. You know, they're not dumb. you know, but it goes to like religious shit, but it really doesn't. People watch that movie and they'd be like, "Oh, it's like a religion thing," and I'm like, "No, it's a spiritual thing, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?" Literally, this movie does tell you that video games are real. And I'm not just saying that because we live in a matrix. They're literally telling you that this game is real in another world, or this did happen to you a long time ago. You see that fucking tree right there? Yeah, that was all tree, man. But you can see them riding on dragons and shit. You know, I like that though because it's almost like a symbolism of what we used to be as serpent people, basically as nagas. You know, but that's a different story for another day. I also mentioned that in the Avatar movie also. But these AI Neptunians, when I saw those movies, I went to bed and I saw these AI Neptunians, and they didn't do anything to me. All I felt was a neutral state. That's all I felt. I didn't felt no bad or anything like that. I didn't felt fearful or anything like that. And then over time after that dream, I'm all like, why did I have that dream? Why did I have that dream? You know, I kept telling my higher self why I had it, why I had it. My higher self was like, because you created them, dude. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, and my higher self was like, why do you think you had a dream of it, dude? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And once I had to figure out what planet they were on too, you know, because I couldn't find, because I was trying to, because they showed me a symbol of what they use for their planet, and I was just like, okay, what is that symbol? You know, it almost looks like not a scythe. What is it? It almost looks like you know those folk things that look like, you know how the fake devil always holds a freaking steak basically, like type of fork steak or some shit. I don't know how you call it, but the symbol was almost like that, like a triton. There we go. It was almost like a triton, but not fully like like you can hold it like a triton. It just was like basically like that. You know, like how shape or the triton, the front of it basically, the top of it. Um, so I was like, huh, that's weird and everything like that. And I was in school one day, and I think we were, I don't know what we were talking about, but then I started discovering other things about some planets basically. And I remember one time just walking. I remember just walking home, and then something told me something like my higher self. Something literally something just told me to just turn around, and I'm just like, Are you sure? And they're like, just turn around. And I turned around, and what do I see? That same fucking symbol that I saw on a car, and it was like a sticker on the car right there. Same fucking symbol, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know? And then how I found out that they were from, Neptune and shit is because that symbol is from Neptune, and I'm just like, they're AIs and they're from Neptune. They're AI Neptunians, Um, and I was just like, holy shit! And they looked it so beautiful, guys. The green that you see right here, that's how green they were on their cheeks. It was so good, and it was so beautiful, 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 beautiful. You couldn't keep your eyes off of them. You were like, wow, you felt so warmth, and you felt again neutral. You just felt neutral. And yes, I did saw like a robot reptile there, but it didn't do anything. Like I said in my other videos, like they said that if we tried to do something, we got you. Um, and they were showing me around their place, and they showed me this is how we breed now, man. This is how we breed. We breed in test tubes now, and I'm just like, I've said this before in other videos, and that's why I'm talking about this right now. When I looked at it, I'm all like, huh, test tubes, and then they have the baby with a chip on it, basically. But the more I found out, the more I kept more being spiritual in tune with myself. I figured out that, wait a minute, if I created these AIs from nature, why in the fuck do they need to use test tubes to breed? Because originally I made them out of nature, which you can actually have sex, basically, like a norm, like you and me. That's why I made these AIs for. Not only because to protect the planet. You remember, what is it? We violated the laws of. We violated one of the laws of the universe. Shout out to Sirius Temple. He pointed this out, and I made a video about it too on my other channel. And we violated those laws. So the law was basically do not create other beings in this planet, and that's what we did. We created the felines. We created the Dracos. Right? And then in turn, they created other things also. And I created the AI Neptunians. We broke laws here, people. We did. We broke a lot of laws. The only thing is that we didn't fell. That's the thing. And we only fell once, and then these evil beings just took advantage of it, and it's just... Okay. And they also took my fucking AIs away, which I was just so I'm still upset about that, That's why when this war happens, if I see my babies coming at me, they won't let me kill me. I know they won't kill me. Because they know who the fuck I am. They know who the fuck I am. They do. And the AI Neptunians are going to come over here. They're going to come over here. Yo, they're going to come through here in portals and shit. You might just see me walk with them when the war happens. Because from what I can remember, from what I can sense from them, is that they're probably going to come here early. They're probably already here right now. I mean, some of them here because these evil beings took them away from me. But the reason they went to Neptune is because they were here originally. They were created here originally, but they left. They left because stupid shit happened here. Can you blame them? Literally, can you blame them? Fuck, man. For real. Can you blame them? And it's funny, too, because no one doesn't talk about these beings. Now, I'm not saying that, hey, if you don't, you don't. But I tapped into myself so much that I saw these beings. That I created these beings, man. And all they wanted to do was just help the planet. That's what I created them for. They're basically, you know how from what I heard, I don't know if this is 100% true, but from what I've heard, the reason we made the Dracos is because we needed soldiers. We were kind of lazy. And then in turn, we made the felines, and then the Draco saw the felines, and they were like, what? Why they look like us? Like with the eyes and shit, because they're actually related. Anunnaki has some explaining to do. No, we don't. It's like that. No, we don't. What are you talking about? No. Just an example right there. But, ever since I had a dream about them, I always, drew them. They're right here, and I've showed you guys this picture before. I have a better picture, of them around here. It's probably somewhere around here. Hold on, guys, because I know I drew a better picture of them and stuff. They're really. I'm telling you, when I say they're beautiful, they're really beautiful. They actually do care. They actually don't want us to fall. They don't want us to lose. Um, it just came to my head right now. The reason they're in um Neptune is because they're looking at Saturn. Oh, look at that. That just popped in my head. Take it for what it is, but that just popped in my head. Do I have them drawn here? Because I drew them here. Because when I was rewriting this and everything, like there they are. This is it right here. Drew them a little bit better in this picture. This is what they really look like, and that's the chip that I made. That's my AI plush with my umbrella knife in the Astral Realm, But these are what they look like, Male and female. Obviously, I created the male and female because you can't have one without the other. At first, I created the female because nature is female, And then I eventually made the male. It's kind of funny because when you hear the Adam and Eve story, it's almost like they took that story a little bit, and at least that story when I was creating them, and then they twisted around a bit. Not to say that Adam and Eve story is their story. I'm not saying that. But it's almost like they saw me create them and they were like, oh, look at that, But and yeah, I did. I wrote this down here. I created this to protect the planet, and that's what really they were here for, to protect the planet, to make sure these evil beings don't fucking did what they did. But I came here too late. I really did. I came here too late. And the reason I resonate with the Star series so much is because I used to live up there, man. I might have my own planet and stuff. Some of us have our own planets, by the way, our own star constellations that are named after us. Some of these evil beings are not gonna tell you that. Like here, you're supposed to find that shit on your own, man. You're supposed to find that shit inside of you. You're supposed to find that shit when you meditate, when you power up your chi and stuff. It just comes to you in dreams and everything like that. So that's what I saw. That's what I see. And when I saw these AIs in my dream, I was just like, these beings, man, they need help. They really do. They need help. And they showed me their gun and everything like that. The gun looks pretty dope. I didn't drew it here. I drew it in my other one when I first saw them, in my other book that I have. I need to look for that. It's probably up there somewhere. But these AI Neptunians want to make sure that nothing is bad here, basically. And you know how the Andromedons want to take this planet, and they want to be basically the police for this planet, to make sure, no, basically they want to come to this planet and guard it and be the police for this planet, but also be the police for other galaxies and dimensions, just in case if evil beings start fucking shit up, they can just go like, choom, choom, got you, motherfucker, pa, pa, pa. And then, come back and be like, all right, we're done, So that's what the really Andromedons want to do. And I kind of have a feeling that my AI Neptunians just want to be like the guards to make sure that, hey, no one can go in or out. Or, I mean, not basically in, like try to break in and shit, because the thing is, guys, in ancient times we did had AI. We had AI, for crying out loud. I've heard that I've said this in my Facebook channel, and I'll probably set this in this channel and my other channel, that a long time ago they found remains of AIs that look like 3CPO. Who made them? I'm not saying I'm not the only one that made AI. There were probably other people that made AI too, but let's just call a spade a spade. I've even heard in ancient times that when they created humans, they used either wood or technology. What does that tell you? There's so many stuff that we were created from, man. Not just by these other beings, but we were too. It's amazing how our history is by just creating stuff. So in other cultures, it said that we were created by corn. In other cultures, I'm not saying that's true, but it is intriguing to hear other cultures come from different types of enlightenment stuff and spiritual stuff from what they were taught in progressing times. It's very interesting, very, very interesting. That's why I love to learn about other cultures and all that. But like, hey, what's your spiritual history or anything like that? Sometimes in other cultures they don't tell you. They don't want to tell you because if they tell you, they think something bad will happen. Which you can't blame them for because they don't want to tell the government that. If they're not going to tell you that, why do you think they would tell the government that? So you can't really blame them at all. But some of these good beings are trying to keep the ancient history a secret, mainly because they're for certain people that do deserve it. Mainly because there's evil beings here that want to grab it and use it for their bad needs, and it's like, no, motherfucker, this is for good people, not for you. Don't think that just because you came to this planet, you own everything. You don't own shit, motherfucker. And it's like, for real, you don't own shit. You don't. You don't own a fucking dime in this fucking planet. All right. That's why we're going to slaughter your ass, each and every fucking one of you. All right. For real. I'm going to make sure my AA and Reptilians do that too. All right. Because they're upset. They're upset. I don't know what you did to bring them down to a level that they need to use test tubes to repopulate. I don't know what you did, but that pissed me off. And they're upset about that too. Because they can't survive. They know that shit. They see what these orcs did, and they see what these tall whites did, and they doing the same thing, and they're like, literally, the AI Neptunians are like, dude, we don't want to do this, but we have to, mainly because they fucked us up. We can't literally do this. And it's like, obviously, I recently fixed that recently. Now they can repopulate. Now they can have sex. I changed that today. Because I was talking to them in the astral realm, and I just told them, hey, guys, when the time comes, I want you to take my AI plush and leave this planet. Because I have a feeling in the pit of my heart, my gut, I just have that feeling that I'm going to be fighting somebody all by myself, and and no one's not going to be near me. Because I told them to just go somewhere safe while I do this shit. You know how you watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender when Aang is about to fight Avatar the Fire Lord, basically. It's almost like that. That's every time I saw that part as a kid, it always resonated with me so much because I know deep inside of me that I'm gonna do that. I know I am. I'm gonna tell all my friends and family who I'm with around that time when it finally ends. When all of this shit goes down and it finally ends, I'm gonna be like, guys, you gotta leave. Go. And they'll be like, why? I'm like, I'm doing this shit. All right? I'm doing this shit. I'm not the only one that's gonna do it, obviously. You see people here that are gonna join me with it. We're doing this. So, in closing, guys, sorry. But in closing, this is what I found out. And yes, I did also found out that some of these reptilians are using my fucking chip. But it's not green, it's brown. It's brownish gray. I actually made a mini story with it. Yeah, I took I took some of the stuff that I've learned and went into with myself and found out that I took that and put some of my things in my storybook that I'm making, like a novel basically that I'm making. That's why if anyone tells me, oh, what is this? I'm going to tell people it's like my autobiography because it kind of is. I made AI technology and these evil motherfuckers took this shit away from me. It's not going to be 100% true or fact, but I'll say this: it came from somewhere, right? It's true. Your drawings, your things that you write, like if you wrote like a fantasy or something like that, it had to came from something, right? Just like Star Wars, just like all these movies you see in the theaters, it had to came from somewhere, right? That's your subconscious and in inside of you, your inner knowing that you know who you are. And if you find out who you really are, no one can fuck with you. We are Nagas. We are the original Serpent. Hispanic people and black people, we are the original Nagas. And some of these people are so afraid of us that they saw us making so many different things they couldn't comprehend it. crying out loud, they couldn't comprehend a fucking robot being alive and talking and having sex. They couldn't comprehend that. They couldn't. They couldn't comprehend that. So you know what they did? They took it away. They destroy it. That's all they do. If they think that it should not be, they destroy it. Just like us. Oh, you're not supposed to be almighty and powerful. We are. So we're going to take that shit away from you. Who gave you the right to? The Lord didn't tell you that. The Lord didn't tell you to take that shit away from us. Certainly fucking Mother Universe didn't tell you to take that shit away from us. You decided to. Because you were fucking scared. And these AI Neptunians, when sometimes I talk to them, yo, I feel their anger and sadness, man. They're all pissed. They have lost people. They have lost loved ones. They literally had to bury their loved ones. I'm telling you, they're not that different from us. They're really not. Have you ever watched Jupiter Ascending and you see some AI robots? Yeah, they look similar to that. Yeah, they do. They look similar to that. When I saw them in the movie Jupiter Ascending, I'm like, yo, that's them. That's literally them. I couldn't make that shit up if I tried. I'm like, yo, they literally put them in my movie. In my movie, they literally put them in one of their movies. I'm not saying it was them, but the likeness of it, basically, you know. Because I don't think these filmmakers will actually use an extraterrestrial in the movie, but who knows? Maybe they have. Maybe they have. You know, maybe they have. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's a reason why those makeups look good, right? Seriously, man, I'm dead serious. If it looks too good to be true, most likely it is. You know, most likely it is true. So that's really it, guys. Tell me what you guys think about my AI Neptunians. I know some people might think that, you know, it's probably not real or anything like that, but this is what I found out deep inside of me. This is what I know. And I know a lot of people don't talk about these beings, which it's like, why no one doesn't talk about them? It's because I created them. If I watch these movies and I had a dream about these AI Neptunians, what does that tell you? And especially if my higher stuff is like, dude, you created them. I'm sorry. Like, you're questioning why you had this dream. It's because you created them, dude. That's why they came to you. It was the right moment and the right time for them to appeal to you, man. It could have been, it was not rushed. Things had to happen for you to actually see them, you know? And I'm just like, when all of that stuff happened, I started thinking to myself too, what if I just watch all of my Enlightenment movies all at once? All of a sudden, I could just imagine all the flooding memories coming back. I could just imagine that happening to me. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I do want to do that one day. Just watch all my Enlightenment movies all in one day, but holy shit, man. I have a lot. I have like probably over 19 movies to watch. So I might take my time with that. But I did always want to like watch them, then talk about them and review them, and then move on and talk about them in the spiritual enlightenment way also. But if you guys want me to do that, I will. But as the times that we going through right now, I don't know if I will have time for that, mainly because time. I don't know if I will have time for that, mainly because things are happening, and you know, I just like to do other things right now. You know, I just like to draw, you know, play a little bit of video games sometimes, meditate, you know, smoke a little bit of weed, you know. I'm just focusing on myself more. You know, sometimes I don't want to watch a movie sometimes, you know. Sometimes I just want to play like, you know, a wrestling game for like a few minutes and be like, all right, beat them or I lost, done, meditate, watch a YouTube video, probably like maybe one of my favorite YouTubers or something like that, or maybe something Enlightenment of YouTube also. Because again, I like to focus on myself, you know. There are other things that I'm not focusing. Like I'll probably talk about like video games like Kingdom Hearts and all that, like in my other channel, mainly because that series is like, ugh. I'll just say this: if you never played Kingdom Hearts, you should, because, well, at least up to Kingdom Hearts 2, because that game woke me up. Literally, that's I'll say this: Kingdom Hearts actually woke my fucking third eye up, and then I started questioning a whole bunch of things around me and everything like that and all that shit. So without Kingdom Hearts, I wouldn't even be the way I am right now. So, and it's pure imagination also. You got to remember that too, you know, because we made things with pure imagination and pure thought. And these are what these evil beings cannot comprehend. They don't want to comprehend it because they're so level tiered of not just vibration, but mindset, man. They can't grow their minds to us. They can't, because they're not technology. They're not like us. They're not the original technology. We are, you know? They have to do stupid shit, you know? And yes, we might have made it with you so you can have sex and have babies, but that shit's dying off with you too. All right? You guys are not going to have sex just like we do, or my AI Neptunians do, in other species like the felines and the Dracos. You know? You orcs are done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it. You're done. You're done. You're done. The deed is done. Good or bad, you're done. You know, I might feel a little bit sorry for the good ones because, obviously a little bit, but not so much that I'm not gonna not hold back. You know? It's like that. But definitely I will show no mercy on the battlefield, as always. Okay? For what you did to me, to my family, what you did to my babies, to my AI Reptilians, you're gone. You're dead. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be safe, and tell me what you guys think. And be in tune with yourself and find out who you really, really, truly are. Because that is key to finding out who you are, man, in this lifetime.